You know that?
Good boy, say your name, man. Legend, you made the biggest hit. What you saw over there? What happened on that play, Legend?
I just saw them this house with him.
Yeah, so you keep balling. What you got to say to the world, man? Y'all number one in Georgia. I defended that today. What you got to tell the world about the team?
I gotta tell them that we number one and nobody can stop me.
Yes, sir. Keep balling. Get up out there. Good play, boy.
Stop my boy.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of SGDS Same Goes Different Struggle. I am your host, AJ, and I got my bro back with me. What up, Nate?
What's up, my brother? It's been too long. We back though.
Yeah, man, we finally back, man. How you been, dog?
Man, doing pretty good. Just work and sports been had me preoccupied. Finally got a little bit of a break now that most of the Clayton County schools is eliminated. But we're gonna get into that.
Hey, man, so you want to jump into it. Before we get started, though, bro, this is episode 61. I appreciate all the subscribers. If you are new to the channel, please do comment, like, clip, subscribe, do what you gotta do for us. That does help us. Me and my bro Nate, Jared might tune in, clock back in, whatever. But today, bro, we can start. I don't know, but I still ain't made up my damn mind. So, all right, we can start with college though, bro. So, it's a college game going on right now. Last night though, bro, we had a big upset with Clemson versus Louisville. Man, I actually had Louisville going to win this year. Let me share the page real quick. All right, bro. So what? They don't need. Oh, it's down here, I think. So last night we had Clemson beat Louisville by. Did you watch the game, bro?
I saw bits and pieces of it. I actually fell asleep on that game.
Damn, you fell asleep on it?
Unfortunately. But I mean, with Clemson pulling that upset, I'm not gonna lie, that hurts Louisville though, because it was already bad enough that them and Cal lost. That them and Virginia lost. What's up, Antev? It's bad that they lost last week already, and then now you run into a situation where the conference got to depend on Georgia Tech and potentially Miami to make the 12. Because
how would you feel to see your ex quarterback Carson Beck in the college playoffs? That's what I want to see, dog.
If he gets there, the problem I have with Carson Beck is that. To be brutally honest, everybody know I can't stand Carson Beck. I do not like how he left the UGA situation. But one of my issues with Carson Beck is the fact that there lacks some accountability with some of his shortcomings, because that Miami squad, that's a really talented Miami squad. That defense could win them a national championship. But in the two,
that's fact.
In the two losses that they've had, Carson Beck has had some awful moments in the game that cost him. He had a bad. He should have threw 6 picks against Louisville, threw 4, and then he threw that god awful interception 2 weeks ago against SMU that lost him that game. So when you paying, it's one thing. Interceptions gonna happen, mistakes gonna happen as a quarterback. But my guy, you got paid $4 million to take this team potentially to a national championship game, and you're underperforming. And right now, you are looking at a situation where there's a chance that you may not even crack the ACC title game, which if that's the case, they're not getting in the 12. It's teams with better resumes that's going to get in ahead of them. And shoot, if Tech was to lose, if Tech goes into what?
Do you see them beating Georgia Tech?
I'm going to say no.
You don't see them beating Georgia Tech? I think it'll be close.
It'll be close. I think Tech will beat them because the thing about Georgia Tech is Carson Haynes King is by far the best quarterback in the conference in the ACC right now. So I just don't know if they're going to be able. Now, don't get me wrong. Ruben Bain is a monster. Messidor is a monster. They got a great defensive line. So that will pose an issue for Georgia Tech. But one of my problems is going to be is can Miami move the ball against this Georgia? Now, Georgia Tech had a bad day against NC State. But if it gets into a shootout, can Carson Beck? We saw last year, it took us when he was a Bulldog, it took us 7 overtimes to beat Georgia Tech. So if you get into that situation again with a better Georgia Tech team than last year, are you going to find a way to survive that game?
Do you think the Miami defense that he has now is better than the Georgia defense that y'all had though?
Yes, they are better than our defense from last year. Because
Okay.
one thing about our defense from last year was we're and jumping into UJ a little bit, they had the same issue last year. You had solid this year, you don't have nobody on the front four that scares me. Last year you had Jalen Walker and Michael Williams, but you couldn't get no penetration from your defensive tackles.
So
Whereas you go to Miami, that Miami group, Ruben Bain is arguably a top 5 pick. He may even go he's potentially can go number 1 the way he's been looking.
you think
So
Ruben Bain, well, you think it
it depends, though. It's going to depend on further in the season because I really believe that I
when the
really
last
believe
time we had a
Mendoza
good defensive end go that when the last
set
time
in.
when the last time we had a defensive end that went top number one that was actually really good. That was good,
Miles
had
Garrett be
good
number 1.
since Miles Garrett.
Yeah, since Miles Garrett. Miles Garrett was the last like legit number 1.
And
Like
you've had other DNs because you had the one from Georgia that went to Jacksonville and stuff
yeah,
like that. So
Trayvon.
that's why I was saying it like that.
Yeah, I know. No, I see exactly what you're saying. Now, I definitely think his game gonna translate to Sundays for sure. But like you said, I think he's gonna be the number 1 pick? Probably not, because if Mendoza continues to take Indiana far as how they've been looking, he's probably gonna be the number 1 pick. It also depends on what team picking number
Did you
1.
watch that game last week?
Oh yeah, that was a Heisman moment for that group because I'm not gonna lie, I thought they were gonna lose. I definitely
Bro,
thought they were gonna lose.
do you feel like that was a catch?
Oh
Cause
yeah.
we didn't have some this year has been some questionable calls on catches. Like we done had some arguments in the chat about catches these year. Like these have been some questionable calls. So I just want to see what you say. Was that a catch or not?
Yeah, he definitely that was probably some of the best footwork I've seen all season long because I'm not gonna lie to you. If he makes that foot is an inch or two short, he's not gonna that's not a touchdown. So it really was a crazy catch. And it possibly saved them from because if they would have lost that game to Penn State, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what would have happened with them as far as their ranking.
So okay, so let me ask you this thing, right? You know how I be questioning certain teams getting in the playoffs, right? What the line got some?
Hmm?
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna post that dumbass shit. Um, Indiana, right? You know how I be talking about teams that like do good during the regular season and then they get in the playoffs and it be a waste of time. Like, do you see Indiana being there or do you see them as being a contender? Because we've seen teams like come in the playoffs and they do good maybe the first round or so, but then they get blowed out like we got TCU or stuff like that. I think Cincinnati might have gave Georgia the best win that year, but it's still questionable to me about how teams like Indiana and stuff like the conference that they play in, even the ACC team right now, like it's questionable how you're gonna be when you got what maybe 3 or 4 SEC team that might be in the playoff this year
Yeah.
again. So how do
I'm
you feel?
I like that question. It's tough. I gotta see what they're gonna look like when because right now it's like it's gonna be a head-on collision that them and Ohio State meet up in the Big Ten title game. I gotta see how they're gonna fare against an Ohio State team that is from top to bottom probably the best team in the country right now. But again, we'll learn a lot about them too when they face off against each other. Do I think is it possible for them?
Can they still get in without winning
Yeah,
that game?
but they need to stay undefeated. They need to.
So if they lose to Ohio State, they're not. You don't think they're in?
Oh no, they're in. If to me at this point, you can't drop a game. You need to if I would
Even with
say
that
the way
close
is
Penn State, like even with that close Penn State win, and then they lose to Ohio State, are you willing to still put them in?
oh yeah. What the committee kind of looking at right now, when you kind of look at the 12, you 2 losses is your max. So if you are anywhere close to like if let's say you go in at an 11-1 going into the Big Ten title game, you straight. But in their case, their schedule is so sweet, they shouldn't lose another game. So if they was to go to the Big Ten title game and drop to Ohio State, and that be their one loss, they're gonna still put them in because they're gonna be like, okay, you got to the conference title game and you lost to the defending national champ. But it varies. It varies with who, and then they got that Oregon win that's in their back pocket that's helping them out too. Now,
Oregon looking good too. So
yeah. Now,
That's
team like but and then they're also up there at number 2, so it'll help them to win out of the regular season, and then find themselves in that position because that's kind of where in jumping over to like even the SEC with us, we got Texas tonight, so
I was gonna
they
ask you how
have.
you feel about your team tonight.
Honestly speaking, this was one of the games that I had penciled as a potential loss, but it depends on which version of Georgia can't start slow at home. That cannot happen because it's
all year long, bro.
It's all year. I hate it. I love and hate this version of UGA. I have to be honest. Y'all seen me spaz on this Georgia team a lot this season. I hate them. They find a way to win, but I just don't think that these slow starts, and they're young, but I don't think these slow starts is going to continue to save you even at home. I think Texas has played better ball the last couple of weeks.
Can you see Archie Manning being able to do something against y'all defense this because are we still a question on Archie Manning or is Archie Manning chat? Y'all let us know, people in the chat, how do y'all feel about Archie Manning?
I still ride the fence
alone.
I still ride the fence with Archie. He's played a little bit better the last couple of weeks, but the thing that is gonna be now, I'm not gonna lie, he might have a decent game against us tonight, depending on that pass rush, because I do not like this secondary by no means. Is
Bolden playing in the first half? Is Bolden played in the first half?
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back for this game.
Okay.
But even with him, like they have not looked. They're not looking good this year. That secondary, I do not like the secondary.
The same as it used to be. I'd say that even the defensive end though, like the only thing y'all love to brag about right now is y'all that linebacker.
Yeah.
We're gonna get on to the Falcons in a minute because we definitely need a linebacker, but that it's shocking. I ain't gonna say it's shocking to see Georgia defense, and I'm a Florida fan. Feel me? So it's shocking to see Georgia because Georgia is known for their defense. Now y'all are hosting some recruits this weekend. I wanted to ask you about this because y'all got a black quarterback coming in, and I don't know why Georgia do this shit. Why do y'all bring black quarterbacks in and y'all don't play them? Like,
man, one thing I gotta say about Kirby is loyal to the guys that he ended up committing to, and I was shocked to see that also. Considering
Kirby had Justin Fields too, and he wasn't.
Oh yeah, he was never loyal to Justin Fields though. That's the sad part about it because Fields should have started over Jake Fromm at some point later that season, but he was so committed to the fact that we went to a national championship with Jake Fromm, and Jake Fromm was not the reason one that went to that national championship. We had Sony and Nick that was in that backfield going crazy. But and I think that's one of the early mistakes that he has to learn. That he had to learn because Justin Fields ended up leaving to go to Ohio State and had a pretty good run at Ohio State.
Remember the Florida guy that had the situation with Billy in the in NIL, and he had came to Georgia. Shit, he didn't even play.
Yeah, so I think I'm surprised to see us go after that guy because I mean we got the 5-star kid that's coming in next year. So what I don't want to end up happening because you already got this 5-star kid, Gunner's starting to kind of win the fan base over. He's been pretty good these last couple of weeks. So now it's in a situation where you got this 5-star on the bench. Are you gonna bring this 4-star in? Is he gonna come in and be in a situation that kind of Gunner was in, sitting behind Stat and Beck for that period of time. So it's intriguing to see how they're gonna play that quarterback thing out past that past Gunner Stockton.
What do y'all? What do you want to see tonight from your team? Like, I say that because I'll talk about my team in a minute because I really want to ask you because you keep in contact with everything in college football. I want to really ask you, do you see, because Florida played Ole Miss tonight, and Lane Kiffin is supposed to be one of the people that's supposed to be in quote being in contention for the head coaching job. Do you see Lane Kiffin actually trying to win this game? Or let me just, how do you feel about your team? I'll ask you that in a minute. How do you feel about your team tonight?
Okay,
And
so I think we're gonna win close. I have us winning by like 7. I think it's gonna be a nail biter to the end.
Evan,
Yeah, I think it'll be a touchdown win, or maybe even field goal. You're not winning by more than this possession. I think Texas is gonna play that good today because Texas realizes their playoffs is on the line. If they drop this game, you have to win the Texas A&M game. And I'm sorry, I do not see the committee putting a 3-loss SEC team in.
I'm gonna be real with you. Y'all might not, and you know what's so crazy? Somebody say this: Georgia might make the playoff, but not the SEC championship.
Oh yeah, me personally, and a lot of Georgia fans may not agree with what I'm about to say.
Oh,
I
that's it.
don't want to make the SEC title game. I would gladly go 11-1 and get a first round game. Oh,
Appreciate that,
appreciate that.
man. Appreciate it.
I would gladly go get me a first round game against whoever. In another thing, committee. Let me throw this out into the committee real quick. Don't do that. Man. Listen, don't do that 5th team in like that, man. Because right now we projected to play South Florida. South Florida is
at first. The first week was Memphis because
yeah.
Jared little ass talking about I'm
Y'all
gonna go no matter where it's at. I'm gonna go.
Don't do them kids like that, y'all. I'm sorry. And I ain't trying to be rude. Don't do that, school. Don't do that 5th conference in like
I
that.
don't
I'm
know
sorry.
because Cincinnati gave y'all a contest, dog. That
That's good.
Desmond Ritter.
That's good. They got us on a neutral site. Them kids got to come to Athens. I'm sorry. No. That first round is in Athens.
You see South Florida playing y'all boys tough in
No.
Athens?
No.
I don't even know. I'm gonna be real with you. You got so like how the playoff. It's hard for me to look at the playoff because you still got so many teams that have not
Yeah.
had their rivalry matches yet. And you, like I said, you got what I mean. These teams that still got to play each other, and people gonna fall pieces. The championship's not even here. So how we looking at things right now? It's not even gonna be like that.
Yeah, it could change. Definitely change tonight, depending on what happens with us. Because I mean, really, at this point, Georgia, you win this game tonight, you basically lock yourself in the playoffs because you got Charlotte next week. You're gonna beat them by 40. So really, it's 2 games you got. You got Tech.
Will they still be in if they lose to Tech?
It depends on tonight. If they lost to both Texas and Tech, then I think they're out. But if they split, then because at the end of the day, the Tech game is a non-conference game, so they also don't. So really,
it don't matter if y'all not going to the play. I mean, to the what's the name though?
Yeah. So if they beat Texas tonight, you basically went 7-1 in your SEC schedule. So even if you drop that game, they're gonna go, okay, we're gonna put a 10-2 Georgia team, and we got to send them on the road. But if you was to lose tonight and then 2 weeks later lose in Atlanta to Tech, I'm sorry. I'm a diehard Bulldog fan. Don't you put us in the playoffs at no freaking 9-3.
But would it be 9-3? It'll be 9-3. So
yeah, because they play Charlotte this week.
If y'all lose to Texas and then lose to, now I don't see y'all being. I don't see a 3-win Georgia team being. I don't see that.
So it would depend. So to be
because,
honest,
like Ole Miss only got 1 loss. So say if they lose 1,
right? So that's the thing. We can't afford. 2 losses is the max.
Vanderbilt too, man.
Yeah, 2 losses is the max. You can't drop 3. You can't lose 3. You lose 3, I think you're out. So tonight is Texas basically elimination game for Texas. They lose a day, they're not getting in because even if they was to beat Texas A&M at home, that's only one conference loss for Texas A&M. They would still make the SEC title game and play Alabama.
I don't know, bro. All right, bro. I'm gonna switch the subject real quick. So last night we had Georgia high school football playoff game, man, and I'm gonna let you take the lead on this because you've been covering this. This is your thing and stuff. But I want to take a moment, give intake on everything that's going on in Georgia high school football because we don't really hear about it as much on podcasts like everything else. So I'm gonna let you. Let's start with what we got 6A first. They didn't change that.
Okay.
We got that thing to me.
Yeah,
What we got? Class 6A, bro.
let me look at this bracket.
So you see it?
So looking at this bracket, shout out to I think my boy KD Tuna. Shout out to Newton. Newton won their game. That's gonna be an interesting matchup between Newton and Buford. Douglas
Yeah,
County advanced last night. I'm
Oh,
gonna
shit,
be.
this small as shit. My bad, dog. Let me see if I can zoom in. How the fuck?
Oh
Let me
no,
see.
it's good. I can see it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right.
I like them. I'm intrigued to see that Douglas County North Cobb matchup for sure. You were just missing the East Cowee. They going against Walton.
Oh, they
They knocked
won?
off me.
Yeah, I'm telling
They
you,
beat
bro.
McKeachern last night. They
Yeah,
beat
like, I
McKeachern
don't
at
know. Some
home.
teams that was supposed to win, bro. I thought, like, it's some teams that I thought was supposed to win that didn't win. Like, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, I thought McKeachern was gonna win last night. I definitely thought they were gonna win last night. Grayson, not surprised to see
So, see, look
Grayson
at
win.
Brookwood. So, what you think about this one? Brookwood versus. So, look, it was Brookwood and Parkview that was like the schools growing up when we was in school. Parkview and Brookwood was them shit. How do you feel about Brookwood versus Valdosta? Because Valdosta still is on they shit.
Dre, what's up, bro?
What up,
But
Dre?
hey man, them Valdosta schools be tough, man. I gotta see how this
Oh,
gonna
you seen
match
their
up.
documentary?
Say it
Like
again.
you seen the little documentary, like the little thing they be
Oh
doing?
yeah,
You
I
watching that?
definitely followed that. So no, I think Valdosta should advance against them. East Coweta and Walton gonna be interesting because if Walton went on the road to beat McEachin, I'm gonna be highly intrigued to see how they match up with East
Damn,
Coweta.
Walton beat McKee.
Yeah,
Damn.
I thought McEachin it was gonna be McEachin and Valdosta myself. So that was a surprise.
Don't Grayson got the number one linebacker or the number one player in Georgia right now?
Hold on. I'm gonna tell you who got the number, and that's another thing that's coming into a factor as well for these games. So everybody that be tuning in high school football, you might want to be tuned in because a lot of these guys, this is the time to start looking at these kids. Let me see who got the number one recruit in Georgia.
I'm going to class A. I'm 5A now, bro.
Okay, you can go the
Look at
5 base.
Statesboro. Oh, oh shit. Woodward Academy still good. Villa Rica
Oh
still good.
yeah,
Shout out Villa Rica. That's my Terrence went there. So shout out to them.
oh yeah. Woodward
Roswell.
Academy,
I
Statesboro.
didn't know Roswell was good.
Yeah, that should be a good matchup. Villa Rica and Thomas
Damn,
County. Thomas County actually be they're pretty good themselves. I'm intrigued to see how that's gonna go.
Newton still good.
Mark Central and Roswell, that's gonna be a good matchup. Newton and
Milton still
Sequoia.
killing things.
Milton,
All right,
Milton,
guys.
I got Milton for the upset against Jackson County.
I don't know what goes on with Lovejoy when and this been for a while. Lovejoy seems to be good, but when they hit that first round of the playoff, bro, and that's literally all Clayton County teams for some reason, bro. I don't know what it is, and
I'm
I'll let
glad
you
you
speak on to it. You speak on it. What is it about when Clayton County gets in the playoffs and they start facing
so
these
I'm glad
teams
you
that don't
brought
even have the resources that we have?
this up. So first of all, let me shout out Lovejoy, North Clayton, Mount Zion, and Jonesboro for making the playoffs. If you all, I'm gonna try to stream it at 3:30. North Clayton plays Lagrange, so I'm gonna
Oh
try
yeah,
to
you
put it
did
on.
send it to me, bro. I'm
Stream.
gonna watch that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to put it on the stream at 3:30. But the problem is with Lovejoy has a young team. And unfortunately their schedule got brutal at the end. They had to play Langston Hughes, who advanced last night. Shout out to Langston Hughes. They
They won
advanced.
last night too.
Yeah, they're in that. So they're in the region. They played with Hughes in the region. Who was it? It was Hughes, Northgate, and Noonan. They were all in the same region.
This the one then. This should be the one then.
Yeah. So
Noonan,
as you saw, Lovejoy.
Noonan or Newton.
So yeah, Lovejoy actually lost to Noonan and Hughes. Those are two losses. They're all in the same division. So that ended up costing them in the end, and they ended up making as you see, all so who was it? I'm sorry. It was Noonan Hughes. It's another team. I'm trying to find the other team that was in their region. I'm looking at the bracket because they're in the same bracket. Hold on one second. Yeah, because Lovejoy was the 4 seed.
It wasn't Creekside, was it?
It wasn't Creekside. I'm trying to find that 3rd seed. I'm gonna see it.
Oh, damn, they beat East Paul.
It was
Hughes and Langston Hughes, right? They beat
It was Northgate. Northgate was the 2 seed.
Okay.
So yeah, Northgate was the number 2 seed, and they ended up, as you saw, they lost to Villarica last night. But Lovejoy beat Northgate, but unfortunately, Northgate beat the 3 seed, which was Noonan. Appreciate that, bro.
Appreciate that.
So that ended up dropping Lovejoy to the 4 seed, and then that drew a very bad matchup. Say it again.
You were telling us about that in the chat.
Yeah. So what happened was, and another thing, they're gonna change. A lot of folks have not heard about this yet, but if you follow high school football, they're changing the format next season. The current format is the top 4 in every region gets in. That's not change. That's gonna change. What they're gonna do is they're gonna take into a factor what your schedule is like. So if let's say for example, like a Westlake went 6-4, but they played like the 3 of the top 10 teams in the state. They're gonna change that up to where a 6-4 team would go over this team that's maybe 7-3 in their. Like a 6-4 team that plays like bad competition, but they got 4 bad losses. So that's
before you go on, let me ask you this, right? Because some teams, so take a Grayson, right, or like a Buford. Those teams play. They don't play state. They don't play state schedule. Don't they play national?
Yeah. So that's going to play into a factor because they're going to rank your schedule in next year's playoff format.
But how can you explain it to me? Because national is way harder than state.
Right. So match preps do a weekly ranking. So that's going to now come into a factor when they get deeper. When they start picking the 32 teams, that's going to start becoming a factor down the road. So that's what's going on, Nate. So that's going to become a factor as well. So that's what will play out this in the next bracket. Oh, okay. So you brought up this, but before we even talk about that 4A bracket, the issue with Clayton County schools, and this is before I say this, let me be the first one to say, don't even
sugarcoat it. Say the truth.
As a person, I know you know where I'm going with this. As a person that covered Clayton County athletics, I am for every team in the county being successful. But one of the problems is the talent disparity shows when we get to the playoffs, because you're going against certain schools where those kids seeing 4 and 5 star. Like, for example, you're seeing 4 and 5 star prospects in Clayton County, but you may go against a school, for example, like a Creekside, that may have 10 of the top 100 players in the state. So when you're looking at those brackets, when you're looking at the talent level, you're not matching up. For example, 2 years ago.
Hold on. Before you go, okay. So before you go to that, right? Because it might go on the same time. I just want to ask this quick question. Because Creekside and North Clayton, if we talking, are maybe 20 to 30 minutes away from each other, if we speaking, right? So the talent level, it's not like we talking from North Clayton to Columbus or North Clayton to Valdosta. So the talent level is in these areas. Would you say that the problem is the resources in these areas, or like, because we also know that high school football has evolved and we can recruit players now in different, you know what I mean? So it's like, because I remember my brother Q was talking about how North Carolina Middle you bringing these keeping these kids together. Do you think
Yes.
that's a problem too? I just wanted to ask that question.
I agree with you on that, and I like that you brought that up too. The thing is, like you said, for example, a lot of those North Clayton kids they will be back next year. So regardless of what happened this year, you'll see a lot of those kids either come up from. By the way, shout out to the North Clayton Middle School team. They've won the last 4 titles in the state in the county.
They
So when
did
you're
again.
yeah, they won again. So when you're
Damn,
looking at you
he
got
would have
these
been happy as
really
hell for me.
so you're looking at like how you brought this up before, and this is our brother Q did bring this up when y'all guys were playing at Bab and the Adamsons. Y'all weren't staying together. Go to Forest Park and Morrow.
So
Some
we
of you were
stayed on
going
it. We
right.
stayed.
Y'all were
We
going
really
separate.
should have been going. We really should have been going to North Clayton and Riverdale. So like a lot of us stayed on in Riverdale, but majority everybody stayed in Forest Park and Morrow. Like for real,
Correct.
for real.
And see, the thing is, those are what some of these kids are doing. Like they may play here, but they may go like you said up the street to Creekside and see, okay, he does took 10 kids with a college degree. Now that's gonna start to change for the better in Clayton County. You're seeing schools like North Clayton getting this talent there. They got a 4-star quarterback, Justin Murphy. He got 20 offers, I think. You got the 2 kids for Jonesboro. That's 4 stars going to Miami. Lovejoy got a couple of 3 and 4 stars is going to go. I know one's going to Indiana, another going to NC State. A couple of them going to big schools. But the biggest thing is between the resources and what you're building there. It's hard for parents to look at a program and see, okay, do our kid has a chance of being productive there? We're not talking about winning the state. It takes a lot to win the state, especially when you're matching yourself up in a state that's stacked with talent like Georgia. But are you winning? Let's say, just go for example, are you winning 7 games and making the playoffs? And I'm not saying that should be your ceiling. But if I'm not going to a school, for example, AJ know firsthand. He he ended up going to another school outside of Clayton County. If your standard is we're in the playoffs competing, that's one thing. But if you're going to a school or your next school up has not had a winning record in 10 plus years, and my kid is good, I'm not sending my kid there. Me and my kid, we're moving to where the better resources is, the better talent is, the better coaches is. And I think that's something that countywide is having to get better because the talent, the resources are actually here. You got a
I'm gonna be
nice
real with you, bro, and not to interrupt you. Clayton County has fallen off way worse than the Reason School, dog. And
right,
like, I'm
and
just
that's what
speaking from what I see. I'm not in Clayton County no more, but from like, I don't know if you seen the shit that's going on TikTok and the jail cell shit that's going viral on TikTok, bro. That whole situation is like that whole fucking county is terrible, bro. From the DA, I say it from the DA, sheriff, and it's us, bro. It's the motherfuckers that look like us that pisses me off, bro. It's like I can't even have an argument with this shit.
yeah, it's the direction of things just isn't the same anymore. And I think that has to change. And I think that's one of the things that you're seeing, even with the expanding that's going on in all these metro areas. They're trying to really get it back. They're trying to get something back in shape. But like you said, it starts with us. But no, I do. That's the biggest thing that sucks when I look at a lot of these talented kids that get to the playoffs and face off against these top tier schools. Like for example, what's going on, Real? Some of these schools that, for example, because even in APS schools are
Non-public school,
a better
they not
position.
as good as they. Is Duggan in the playoffs? Is it?
Yeah, they're in the playoffs. Let me see. They were in this. I think they're in this. They're in the next bracket that we're gonna look at.
So yeah, okay.
But I do want to run over this bracket real quick. So first thing first, Creekside has side note, y'all.
But Creekside, if Latonia Creekside play, dog, I might have to go to that game, bro.
Yeah, I will have to see that.
I might have to
Creekside has
pull up.
scored at least 50 points every game this season.
Oh, that's
That's
average. Shit, that's
and they
average.
scored 70 last night against Ware County. I don't know who in the world is going to slow down that. I mean, excuse me, it's Dalton. they're gonna. I don't know who's gonna slow Creekside down. I don't know.
Nah, for real, for real.
Latonia pulled a big upset. Shout out to Griffin, man. Griffin had a down stretch, but they end up making the playoffs. But Latonia came and showed out last night. Warner Robins has always been a really good school.
Always. Yeah, that was another one. Them.
I see
Always.
Jackson lost to Cartersville last night.
Remember I said see, after we, and that's crazy. We said this in the chat. We're like,
Yeah.
Southwest DeKalb gonna beat you.
And unfortunately, and the sad part about it is I watched most of that Southwest DeKalb in Jonesboro game last night. That game got away from Jonesboro early because they got to stop. The QB didn't have the best game, threw interception, and then they went up 7-0. They ended up going up 14-0. It was a 21-7 game at a point, but they couldn't get anything consistently going on offense. And then Southwest DeKalb ran the ball down their throat too, so that didn't help out either. Kel, that's gonna be. Go ahead.
I was just about to say that shit. You took the word because I was about to say Kel is like you never heard of Kel little. Like they got the Texas logo. They're a good school.
Yeah, they're gonna be tough. Let's see, Cambridge and Central Carrollton should be a good matchup. Cass and Benedict.
Is that hold on. Who is that up there?
Say it again.
Ain't this Ola?
Yeah, Ola. Yeah, they've been pretty good this year.
And they're in Henry County.
Yeah, that's in Henry County. They've been pretty good this year. They ended up losing the tiebreaker. Stockbridge. Yeah.
Stockbridge. Need their ass because that school ain't been that open that long.
They got better. Yeah, they've gotten better as of recent years. Stockbridge, man. Shout out to the Stockbridge program. They lost a heartbreaker last night.
Yeah, Stockbridge lost.
Yeah, they lost to Blessed Trinity. Blessed Trinity, by the way, shout out to Blessed Trinity. They have the #1 recruit in the nation for 2027.
Who?
His name, I'm going to tell you his name right now. But he's the #1 recruit in the nation, not in Georgia. His name is DJ Jacobs, 6'5". The kid is 6'5", 225 as a junior. And trust me, he like that.
What position he play?
Say it again.
What position he play? What school does he play?
Yeah, he's an edge rusher. Matter of fact, right now he's the projected #1 recruit in the country for 2027. I'm gonna tell you.
The guy that decommitted from Texas A&M that you're talking about.
Oh yeah, Jordan Carter. He actually has a visit to Georgia Tech next week, so that's gonna be interesting to see. Can they lure him? Because right now Georgia Tech and Auburn are the two that he's high on right now. But yeah, I'm gonna tell you.
Mays lost? Because we were just talking about APC.
Yeah.
Damn, Mays. I didn't even know Mays made the playoff.
Yeah, bro. So I'm gonna tell you, these are the offers that kid that's next year's #1 recruit got. He has an offer from Florida State, Georgia, Miami, Oregon, Texas A&M, Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn, Cal, Central Michigan, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisville, LSU, Memphis, Michigan, Michigan State, Mississippi State, Nebraska, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Penn State, South Carolina, Stanford, Tennessee, Texas, UAB, USC, Wake Forest, West Virginia, Boston College, and all of they got the chance.
Just everybody.
Yeah, just everybody. Everybody throw it off at them. And that's going to be an interesting. But yeah, Stockbridge unfortunately blew that game last night. They had
who's his favorite? Like,
say it again.
Who's his favorite? Like, who's in the league?
So right now, 24/7 is saying right now that his top 5 is Florida State, Georgia, Miami, Oregon, and Texas A&M. And for all of you that follow NFL, shout out to Jason Taylor. Jason Taylor's been trying to recruit him from the University of Miami. A lot of y'all remember him that played for the Dolphins back in the 2000s.
You want to know who Jason Taylor is? You know who Joy Taylor is? That's who they're related. So that's his sister.
Yeah, man.
Y'all know who Joy Taylor is.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Shout out to MLK won last night in Norfolk County.
My daughter's school. I might have to go see my daughter's school play, but they might lose this weekend.
They may have their hands full with Norfolk County. I'm not gonna lie. All right, you ready?
That Star Mills and Marison game probably must have been good because Marison always been a good school.
Oh yeah, listen. Marist broke Mount Zion Hart our senior year. We lost up there like by a point. we could have went to the Georgia Dome that year. That game still, I know a lot of my boys that played for that Mount Zion team still like talking about that game to this day.
Was that the year y'all had that top rated running back that went to Marshall or something?
Oh, you talking about Martin? He left the year after. He was gone the year after this.
Yeah, because I had one up there. I remember I had one. Because I told you that I was supposed to go to Mount Zion, but I didn't want to go. So, but yeah, I have met before. I met them when they went. I went up there and shit. So third A, bro. This the one with North Clayton. Okay, so this the bracket with us. So let me ask you this, bro. Because I was wondering why did North Clayton fall all the way to 3A when they normally usually be a 4A or a 5A? Well, at first it was like when I was growing up a long time ago, it was like closer to 5A but 4A, but now they in 3A.
So due to the new, I'm gonna look this up so I can be 100% certain. Right now they're in, huh?
My bad. Go ahead, bro.
Right now they're in 3A, but next year they're doing a complete reclassification of all the schools in the state. So it is based on their enrollment and the kind of the region that they're in. So they were 3A this year. I want to say they're going up to 4A. Let me make sure though, because Mount Zion's going up.
Mount Zion went too. I mean, not hit them in Mount Zion. They fell down the
So yeah, so Jonesboro, Mundy's Mill, Forest Park, Mount Zion. Those are the schools. Yeah, and let me see who else.
They in 3A now?
And Stockbridge. So those schools that got like over 1,000 plus kids, possibly, they're now going to be in 5A.
How the fuck?
Excuse me, 4A.
Oh, I was saying, how? They ain't got that many kids coming in.
Yeah, so right now that's what it's showing on here. That they're going to possibly move to 5. Let me see who they got North Clayton moving to. So those schools are gonna go up to 4A. Let me see what they got North Clayton.
How do you feel about while you looking at it? How do you feel about North Clayton changing tonight versus LaGrange? And LaGrange's kind of, what's so crazy about LaGrange, right? When I was playing football, I used to always watch their like little films and shit on the scout. And I don't know if you remember Troy Blackman, the linebacker, number one line, bro. I used to always say, if I meet this fool, bro, I would like, I'm not finna do it. Like, I would never play offense versus that fool, bro. Cause when he was in high school, he was beast, bro. Straight beat. Played at LaGrange. I think back in like, how old was he?
One second. Hold on one second.
Nah, you get it. Go ahead. This is back in 03, 04 or whatever. And then you got, I can't believe, so Sandy Creek still looking good. That's the old Calvin Johnson. So I had my best football game versus Craig Sandy Creek, and I played. Who else I'm playing here, bro?
Okay, I'm back. My fault. But North Clayton's also going up to 4A this year. Yeah, a couple of schools going to go up to 4A. So North Clayton going up to 4A this year. And they change it based on your amount of attendance. So it looks like
from the school. But due to them creating Drew and Langston Hughes, wasn't that the reason that North Clayton lost so many people?
Yeah, so I think, and I want to say they're going to move up a reach. So right now, North Clayton's going to go up to 4A. So I'm about to find out right now for you what region that they're putting Drew in.
Did you watch these two? You watch Class 2A too?
I haven't followed them as much. 2A or 1A, I hadn't followed them as much.
Yeah, I don't go past 3A. I'm dead at now. I don't know why. They don't be like they just
Drew 6A now?
2 ain't no damn 6A, bro.
Brother, they're moving Drew to 6A. Morrow's also moving to 6A.
Who the fuck is that Morrow, bro?
Because Morrow.
I kid you. No. Morrow got a beautiful school now. Like, don't get me wrong.
You see, can I share this to the chat? Because I'm sure they probably wondering what am I talking about. But this is the classification, and as you see, let me hold on. You got to click it onto the screen.
I got you.
Okay, let me try to zoom. Let me zoom in because this is this apparent new reclassification for Georgia High School. And as you see, under 6A, there stands Morrow. And it's because Morrow has over 2,000 kids now going to that school. Beautiful school, by the way. And like you see some other schools, Langston Hughes going up to 6A, Lovejoy's going to 6A, because they're going to have 2,000 kids come next year. Yeah, this is the look at the new region. I think Drew, you see Drew? Drew down above Northside Columbus. So Drew's now going to be 6A.
They got all them goddamn Section 8 babies goddamn coming to fucking goddamn. Cause you, and I'm only saying that because if you want to play court, you from outside, but you do not want to be over there, bro. If I know, like, hey, no way, dog.
We see 5A. So Jonesboro's now 5A based on the so it looks like it's based on attendance.
It is. It's about how many kids you got in school. Like it's always been that. I just didn't know. I didn't understand why North Clayton fell so low because they were. Yeah. Our new kids was going, but the Forest Park gonna be 5A.
Yeah, look like Forest Park gonna be 5A. Because as you see, they're showing like the amount of kids that are gonna be joining.
You lucky I'm on your we saying because I was just about to say some slick shit, but I swear to God.
I know what you was about to say.
I know what you was about to say. But y'all out there doing all this and food this high, y'all out here creating all these babies.
Let's see, Mays on there. Griffin moved up to 5A.
Hold on, what MLK is? They 4A.
MLK's 5A.
They moving up to 5A?
Yeah, they moving up to 5A.
Man, I'm gonna get my daughter out this fucking school.
Yeah, they moving up to 5A as well. Stockbridge. Oh, Stillwell's moving up to 5A. They don't have a football team.
So where is MLK? They're not in 5A right now. They're in 4A, right?
Yeah, they're moving. Yeah, they're gonna move up to 5A. Let's see who's the new 4A. McDonald's moving up. Stevenson's going to 4A.
I might need some help. Oh,
Luella moving up to 4A. Woodlands and Stockbridge moving up. Benedictine.
Sandy Creek moving up.
Sandy Creek. Mount Zion's moving up to 4A. Riverdale's moving up to 4A.
I thought Riverdale been in 4A.
They've been in. They was in 3A.
Oh, they dropped it 3A. That's because Plain County created Sequoia, right?
I believe.
Drew, my bad, Drew, not Sequoia. Drew.
Let's see. So North Clayton and Carver moved up to 4A. So really, I think like the schools that don't really have a lot of Cedar Grove is in 3A now. I look like it's the schools don't have a lot of.
That's crazy because City Grove was like one of them schools that I knew a lot of kids were going to for a minute as far as playing football and basketball.
I don't know where's Money's Mill. They're in 5A. So Money's Mill in 5A.
I see them in 5A. Yeah. But they always function though. They always function.
Let me see if any Clayton County schools moved to 7A. I think nobody's in 7A from Clayton County. Let me make sure.
No, look who you got. You got Brookwood. Hell no, ain't nobody in 7A. But we ain't making
Arabia Mountains in 7A.
Oh shit, that shit right up the street too. That's a nice school. I ain't gonna
yes,
lie.
it is.
That's a nice school. All right, then, bro. We've been talking about college and we've been talking about. I ain't gonna keep you too much longer, but we definitely got to talk about these fucking Falcons. All right,
we can go ahead and remove the high school off the screen so we can talk about that train wreck downtown.
Bro, because we can start about how we doing a 4-game losing streak. We can talk about how our quarterback has said he don't have nobody on the bench that he really could talk to about this shit. And we can talk about Drake London coming out saying that he runs the route that that he's been called to run. All type of stuff that we've been talking about since day one, all during the season, all in the chat. I'll let you give your opinion on what you feel, bro.
Okay. So tomorrow's a must win, as everybody knows at this point. Because if they lose tomorrow, there's no point already. Let me go ahead and make this clear.
You still get hope.
Yeah. Already. Let me make this clear already for the fans and for people that watch football. The reason why we're not saying that the season has ended just yet mathematically is because when you look at the NFC South, Tampa's now 6-4. They have a lot of injuries. Carolina's at 500. And yeah, you're right, Katie. Last week was a must win too. At this point, if the Falcons do not win tomorrow, even with your team, even with
The last week was a must win.
I agree. We've been in must-win situation the last couple of weeks. But at this state, if you drop the 3-7, there's no coming back from that in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Because if you possibly win tomorrow, you got the Saints and the Jets the next 2 weeks, who are arguably two of the worst teams in the league. But with this Falcon team, no game is a guarantee of what's going to happen. I feel like, for one, this is a horribly coached football team, because it's one thing if you're 3-6 because you suck. We're 3-6 because you can't do the fundamental things correct. You can go back and look at the last 3 of the last 4 games, because we're not going to talk about that Dolphin. That Dolphin game was a train wreck. But 3 of the last 4 Falcon losses in the 49er game.
Hold up, bro. If you want to break it down like that, I can play some videos for you if you like. Like, what you want to do? I can play a few videos from the last week game.
Oh, you need, hey, you I don't even want to see them. I know we're gonna talk about the coaches, but I don't want to see a highlight from last week. But we can, from the 49er game where they were super banged up and we couldn't find a way to win that game. We got CMC.
Watch that game.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. CMC, they did literally nothing. CMC won that ball game for them, and we did nothing on offense. The Dolphin game was a train wreck from start to finish. I guess they thought that was going to be a cakewalk for them, and they got their butt whooped at home. The Patriot game, where you get off to a bad start, you get back in the game. First of all, we're on kicker number 3. Let's get that out of the way, because Parker Romo missed the extra point. They could have tied the Patriot game. Then you get the ball back, and we have, by the way, Penix is in his first full season as a starter, but one of the things that got to be cleaned up by our young quarterback, get your butt out the pocket. Stop getting these intentional grounding penalties, because that low-key hurt us in that drive.
So let me ask you this, right? Hold on. Because me and Jared was having that, and we had this discussion in the chat, right? About quarterbacks that are supposed to be dual threats, right? But and we look for them because we know they can run, but they're not really running. They just, you know what I mean? So that's where I be like, I'm not really thinking of him as a runner. I don't look at him as a runner, even though I know he's a runner.
You're right. And the thing is, he's got one of the best arm talents of those kids from that 24 class. But like you said, the problem be, I don't want him to be Michael Vick. Actually, there could never be another Michael Vick in the city. I'm sorry. He'll never have the talent that Vick had in the city. What he do need to become, though, is accurate. And then if the play breaks down, take off. Because for one, I like Michael Penix, but he got some of the worst footwork I've seen in my life. Some of the times he don't plant that foot right, and the ball is going to go 10 yards over the receiver head. It's just like, bro, who you throwing to?
Is it not just that? Because that's one of them. But is he to me, he's having problems. So like when I look at Penix, right? I forgot which game it was, right? They'll blitz like they're going to blitz, right? Or they'll be showing a man coverage, but then they'll fall back into zone. To me, it's like he's not understanding that. You
I agree.
So like I don't know if I was just seeing something different, but he's not really understanding, not picking that up. And I'm going week by week. I'm looking at him like he's still not getting. So when he said that he don't have nobody, I said that makes sense because he's not getting it.
You're right. I agree 100% with what you just said. It's a combination of things with that too, because one of the problems is you are dealing with a backup, basically a backup offensive line, because 3 of our 5 starters are out. For one, we down McGarry, Lindstrom, and Bergeron. We down 3 starters on the offensive
And
line.
one
I
of
know
them
a
just
lot
went
of
on IR. I think another one just went on IR.
yeah.
I think
And then
Storm
Storm Norton might not even play this season. So
no, he just went
we
on IR.
yeah, we
That's it.
got 4 offensive linemen hurt that have either been on in the rotation of the offensive line or either have started for the Falcons. So I think that hurts too. But I also agree that the mental clock goes off too quick. So when he's seeing a blitz, it's like I'm just trying to get rid of the ball instead of let me get out of the pocket and try to make something happen. But
But
also,
what would you do different? Because then what you like, I get what you're saying, but when I'm looking at it like this too, he got only 3 people that he's throwing the ball to.
that and I was just about to say that we don't have a legitimate Drake London is Drake London. Kyle Pitts could really become a better tight end with a better scheme. There's a the route, the third down before
Yeah, I've
we
been
run
saying
the
forever.
ball in overtime. You might know what I'm talking about. And by the way, the third down's been horrible the last 2 weeks. We've only converted 1 third down in 2 weeks. That's pathetic. But the drive that right before the game or in overtime, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Mooney ran the same route in the same area. And I'm like, what in the world is this? And
Oh,
that's
Mooney
what,
has been terrible. Mooney has
yeah,
looked like a soft little puppy to me, dog. Like he's just been terrible, bro. Like
there's no route tree that we run where people are like, okay, this can get a person open. So on top of not having really good receivers outside of Drake London, Mooney's still. And the other thing, we got to call this coaching staff out. Another reason why this coach staff is incompetent. The fact that Mooney's injury was so hidden until last week shows you how incompetent of a coaching staff you have. Because if he was dealing with a broken collarbone, why did he ever step onto the field week 1 or any week? Get that man 100% healthy. You paid him $11 million as your wide receiver too. Get him healthy. But it also shows you when you don't have no type of depth. David Seals need to go work at Walmart. I'm sick of seeing him on my football field. This man every
it's so
week
crazy
throw
because
his hands up.
yo, he didn't do shit. When I was watching the preseason this year,
He
he didn't
didn't.
do shit. But Chris Blair had a ball out preseason, and this nigga ain't moved up on like I don't
Right.
get what Raheem Morris is really doing to me. Raheem, I'm gonna say this, and people might look at me like I'm crazy. I wanted to see the black man win. The black man slapping me the fucking face so hard right about now, it don't make no fucking sense. Because Raheem Morris is looking terrible. This shit falls back on him. He don't
Absolutely.
know how to. It's like okay, last game, right? On the second quarter, he could have called it. I mean, the set before the halftime with the timeout situation. I even heard you speaking on this. He could have called the timeout before, even if we didn't know Jesse Baker was going to get the interception or not. We still would have had time left to do something, but we didn't. It's just certain mental mistake that's not just happening in one game. This shit keeps happening, and it's all over timeouts and just dumb play calling, bro. Like these little 15, like the little bullshit, like curl routes, 5 yard hits, whatever you want to call these shits. Like the shit that Zach Robinson is running is simple bull. My nephew
It
can run this
is.
shit, dog.
And that's
Like
what
it's bullshit.
I agree. And that's what my problem is also from a perspective. Raheem Morris isn't head coach material, number one. But even if you're not the best head coach, you did nothing to get you solid coordinators. Now, Jeff Ulbrich has done a really good job with that defense. The defense is starting to
Really
get
good.
banged up, but
And listen, I ain't gonna
unfortunately,
lie. And the people who keep my bad, but the people who keep complaining about us not having the first round pick this year, you don't understand football at all.
yeah,
Because we
it was
got the
worth it.
studs.
It
We
was
got the
worth it.
studs.
He's worth it. But the problem is, then a lot of folks like, well, the defense started getting gashed. They were on the field for 40 minutes last week. I'm not gonna play. Let's all be real. When you have played sports and haven't played sports, it's a 60-minute football game. Your defense is on the field for 40 minutes. Who's gonna play great defense for 40 minutes? after a while, they're gonna wear you down, and shot in the Colts.
We
That's
got
what
the MVP at running back. What we talking about? And we don't have a run stopper at defense tackle. We
we
got
don't.
some talent. I don't know what the fuck Luka is, but Brandon Doris is that dude. We've been talking
Yes,
about
he is.
him. Brandon Doris has showed up this year. I'm glad. Luka, I don't know what the fuck you are, but you was a waste of our second round.
He may not be on the team next season.
I
and I
don't know
hate
what the fuck Luka do. He don't do shit. We just signed Streets back. I don't know how that's gonna go. We just
me
been
either.
signing motherfuckers.
We don't have and to me, in this current NFL, you got to have you a 300 plus pound defensive tackle that's going to clog that middle. We got a
But see, the
lot of
problem is,
finesse guys.
but see, the problem is, since 2000, when did we draft Noah from Ole Miss? That's what I was telling Jared. We've been drafting defensive tackle. We
Yeah,
drafted the dude from Ole Miss like not too long ago. He didn't even fucking work out.
but you know something, these guys aren't they don't. To me, the problem, one of the other problems we've ran into is we've had 4 defensive coordinators in the last 5 years, so we don't even know at times what our scheme is. So it's hard because we went from Dean P's trash self, ran a freaking 4-2-5. Then we went
Mhm.
to a 3-4. Then we went to a 4-3 Ryan Nielsen. I don't know what Jimmy Lake was doing, but giving it out last season on defense. And then now we're back to a hybrid 4-3-3-4. So we done had 5 different defenses in the last 5 years. So it's the guys, certain guys don't fit certain schemes, and it shows.
Let me ask you this, bro. What? So if we let Matt Ryan, I mean, I'm sorry, what the fuck that came from? If we let if we let Raheem Morris go, right? I've been hearing talks about Green Bay and Matt LaFleur, what's his name?
Oh, Matt LaFleur, yeah,
Matt
he was
LaFleur. I guess he was an old Falcon coach. Now
yeah
him
he was a
during this
QB
time,
coach.
I might not been fucking with y'all, so I don't know too much about bro. So I'm gonna let you like, what's up with him?
I would love to get Matt LaFleur because he's a great offensive mind. He was the guy I thought they were going to give the offensive coordinator job to when Kyle Shanahan left to go be the head coach of the Niners. But of course, as you see, he's been in Green Bay. Green Bay's been pretty good with him. But to me, Atlanta needs to get them an offensive mind. You need to get your offensive mind and get a legitimate defensive coordinator. Now, Ulbrich is soft. I like Ulbrich, but unfortunately, he's probably not going to be here with the new head coaching staff because coaches are going to want their own guys. So he very well may not be a part of the team. And it sucks because the
Do you
defense
think we
is
keep
number 2
Raheem?
sacks.
Do you think we keep Raheem?
Do we keep who?
Do you think we keep Raheem this year? I
I don't
mean,
think.
after this year?
I personally think they need to fire him. But then again, it really varies what happens to the rest of the season. At this moment, I don't see him surviving as the head coach of the Falcons. But if you find a way, and I'm just speaking super hypothetical, if the Falcons were to find a way to run off like be like 7 of the next 8 games, let's say they finish with a 9-8 record, then I think they say, hey, terrible start. Get your guys in here. Get you a veteran offensive coordinator in here, and this is your must-win show. This is your show me season. That's the only way I think he survives not
But
getting
wasn't
fired.
all right. So wasn't Zach Robinson supposed to be that offensive minded coordinator? And then you gotta also think, the last coach we had, Arthur Smith, was supposed to be an offensive minded coach. He was
Yeah,
an offensive genius. And the problem I got is this, bro. We the fucked up part about it is when we was supposed to like that time period when we was looking for a coach. Look at all the coaches that we could have hired that we did interview that's doing good. It's like we're cursing. We got a generation of talent in Bijan Robinson, and I feel like bro, like we just wasting it.
I agree. We got to get somebody that they don't. To me, the Falcons are too comfortable hiring either people that they knew from back in the glory days. Which, by the way, I don't want. If LaFleur came here, fine. But I really
Mhm.
don't want nobody from the Matt Ryan era. There's no disrespect to that era. But my thing is this. the talent on those Falcon teams made a lot of those coaches look better than they were. You got to get you a coaching staff in here. The only coach, and this is no shade to Dan Quinn, because Dan Quinn was a good coach, but Mike Smith got a lot of those young guys to buy in. You need a coach that can get a young group to buy in. I'm not talking about a player-friendly coach. That's what Raheem Morris is. He's a great guy to have on your staff, not as the head coach. You need a guy that can come in here from a football mind and say, we're going to develop this young talent and be a really good ball club. And if you got the guy that's in the building, go get you veteran coordinators while you get your team in mind. Like, for example, we all talk about the Eagles aren't as – they kind of a mess this season, but one of the things that helped them get over the top and win the Super Bowl last year, they brought in Vic Fangio to coach that defense. That defense started flying around because they had the depth on that defense and everything. You got to get you some guys in there. Same for Dan Quinn last year with Jaden Daniels. He got Cliffsburg in to work with Jaden Daniels. You got to get you somebody that has experience in this league of developing players. Jimmy Lake and Zach Robinson was not those guys that should have been in that position. One of the reasons that the offense looked good under Zach Robinson last year is because I put it to everybody like this. In the NFL, you have a year where your team, how I want to put this, your success is going to be that first year out the gate because nobody has a game plan for it. Last year, nobody had a game plan for Zach Robinson. This year, guess what teams did? They went to the offseason. They said, okay, he liked the pistol. He run with Bijan right here. He go with Tyler right here. He go with Pitts right here. He go with Drake right here. So as the season got along, they know what you're doing. So teams are game planning to stack the box, to play man coverage. Because guess what? We're going to make Zach Robinson dial it up on us. He ain't doing it. That's the difference between a good coordinator and a bad coordinator. And that's what's happening with why the Falcons are 3-6 right now.
All right, then, bro. I ain't gonna keep you too much longer. My fucking chest started barking, dog.
It's
It was a
okay.
great show, man. I appreciate you, though, bro. We're gonna come back and do this shit again. I appreciate everybody that tuned in with us, bro. Like I said, bro, before y'all leave, man, click and subscribe on my channel, Nate's channel. Go ahead and shout the channel out, bro.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and shout the channel out, bro. On your Instagram, I don't know what up, man.
Oh yeah, my Instagram is, I think it's, what is it, Nate ATL91? ATL Nate 91. And then of course, as y'all see, we're both live. So just sub. Make sure y'all sub to AJ Brown. That's my boy channel. I will make sure to put it in my comments as well, too, because he does a lot of solid content from mental health. He has his own, he talks about everything. So you want to tune in to what my boy talk about, because I'm telling y'all,
Appreciate it, dog.
he's gonna bring up many topics that you may not see me talk about. So give my boy a
Yeah, I
follow,
don't
man.
even bring this shit up on here, bro. I want to do you like that. I ain't gonna do you like that.
My bro have a lot. He bring a lot of great topics on his page. So definitely give him a follow. You're gonna definitely be thoroughly entertained and have some great knowledge on that channel too. So give him boy support, man.
I appreciate you, bro. We got to get back on here, bro, soon, bro. Hopefully we can do it again next week, dog. Bro.
Okay, we're gonna
All
make
right,
it happen.
y'all. We out.
All right, y'all.